Hello everybody, welcome to another Minecraft Redstone video, and today is kind of an add-on to last episode where I showed you these floor trapdoors and ceiling trapdoors that are flush with the floor, and I have personally designed some new ones basically. So the only problem with these over here is that they work just fine. They're really small. They work perfectly. But sometimes people don't like that ugly piston sticking out. So I have designed some redstone to basically just hide that away. So this is the block that's moved down into the floor. And then the piston is promptly just hidden away. And it works just fine, opening and closing while it hides away. And yeah, that's basically it. Just hides away the piston nice and easy, while you can have your tunnel, which is nice and clean all the way through. And the redstone looks complicated, but it's honestly not really that bad, which I will explain later in the episode. So now I'm going to show you the ceiling one. It looks a little worse than the lower one, but it works just the same, where ceiling opens up, hides away, pull it again, closes up. So it works just fine. And now I will give kind of an explanation slash tutorial on how it works. I'm not actually going to be building it block for block. While I'm going through, you can just follow along and look at it. So first off, I'm just powering it here, which is powering this line along this side of the double piston extender with another piston sticking up into an immovable object right here. That immovable object is important. So what the first thing that's happening is this block here is getting powered, which is what is powering this piston here when it gets extended there to push this block up into the floor, which stops it. So that gets powered first. Then second is this, which is set to 3 ticks, which is just pushing this block over into the cavity for this thing to get pushed up. Then the next thing that happens is this thing, which is the double piston extender on 4 ticks delay, which is just your classic double piston extender, 1, 4, 2, to push this out. That's what the immovable object is for, because this gets powered first before this is pushed over, and otherwise this will push up, which you don't want that happening. So that's all that this is for the top bit, and that's all you need for the extension and retraction. But the thing that is all of this mess over here that looks complicated is the hiding away of the block. So you need this thing to get removed right away when you turn it on, so you can get this out as fast as possible, but you need it delayed for when it's getting sucked back to put it back, otherwise it'll just crash into the piston. So that's what I have here with this first line, comes down underneath, snakes through, then up into that little crevice. It's really compact, but basically it snakes around, down there, up, through, into here. It's getting blocked off by that signal, or by the block. And then there I have a sticky piston facing up into a block here, which is a rising edge monostable circuit, where that block is then sending out a redstone signal through there, this monostable circuit, into this repeater here, which is powering this redstone dot, powering this sticky piston, pulling it back. So that's what basically puts the block, or takes the block out when this thing starts extending. But then you need a little bit of a delay for the thing, or for the piston to put it back when this thing's retracting. So that's what I have here, is a falling edge monostable circuit, which is just monostable circuit, but inverted by a redstone torch. So I do that, I get the extra delay by using this delay here for the double piston extender, by having another repeater set to 4 ticks, going into a block, redstone torch, redstone going into a sticky piston with a block on it for a monostable circuit, repeater coming out of that, which is going into a block next to this redstone dust. And that's literally it for this redstone build, or for the lower trapdoor thing. That's all that's really to it. Oh, another thing, if you want a cheap monostable circuit and you don't really have any like real materials, you can also just use a piston, like a normal piston, or you don't really have slime, just use a piston with sand on top of it. It works the same. It works the same way. Nothing. There's no difference to it. It's just a cheaper way of doing it. I'm using slime because that's just a little bit easier for people to see, or to use for contraption like this. So yeah, if you want to, you can just use piston with sand, but you can use sticky pistons if you want. And that's how that works. I kind of whittled down the timings to the best I could. This is what I found works the fastest for this lower one. So now I'm going to the upper one, which it should, like in theory, it should have been the same, but there are some workarounds that you have to do to. I feel like this upper one's a little bit more compact than the lower one, but otherwise, yeah, I had to build it differently because of different piston placements and stuff. So first off, I have my lever here, which is powering this block here. And so here, first off, powering that block again, which powers this one to push this block down below. The next, this one's being powered next through text of delay to push that thing out and pull it back again. Movable object underneath that piston because of the double piston extender. Again, 1, 4, 2. Repeater going into that, 4 ticks of delay from the side. This line just runs underneath, around, over this block here, running into that. Then you have this line going up, 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 2 more, running into a block, which is another monostable circuit. So that runs into sticky piston right there. Repeater coming out of that onto redstone dust with the block right there going into the sticky piston. Then back over here is the falling edge monostable circuit, redstone torch, repeater set to 4 ticks, redstone dust, block on top to keep it from connecting with that, more delay, 4 more ticks, another monostable circuit, a repeater set to 1 tick, going into a block with another piece of redstone dust over there. And that is basically it for this build. It's the same timings and stuff for this lower one. Just the only change is that the layout is a little different. Otherwise, this is just what I threw together. It's pretty compact. It only works for this upper one though because of the spacing with the pistons, which is why it looks a lot more compact than the other one. But otherwise, that's just what I threw together. If you want, you can compact this more if you want. If you can, go right ahead. Otherwise, that's just my design for this. I think it works well. This is just, like I said, another add-on to the other one, or to last episode of this, to show that, yes, you can hide away that piston if you don't like to, and kind of a tutorial / how it works explanation. So, oh yeah, another thing I forgot to mention, this fits in an 8 by 7 by, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 by 7 by 4 block space. The upper one fits with an 8 by 7 by 5 block space because, yeah, this piston sticks up again. So, yeah, you will have to remember about that because you can't build your floor on this level. It has to be 1 block up because this has to go up and down. That's kind of a flaw with this one, but because it looks like you could have your floor lower, but you can't. And this one is an 8 by 7 by 5. Yep, 8 by 7 by 5. That is the area that it takes up. So, yeah, I tried to compact it as much as possible, but this is the design I came up with. Hope this has been helpful. If you want to hide it, Otherwise, if you don't want to hide it, check out last episode over there where I have really simple designs for a floor and ceiling trapdoor. But otherwise, that is all that I have for you today, and I will see you all in the next episode.